Hey guys, how you all doing? This is Billsmeister, and I'm here to help those warriors who are not really sure on how to spec. So, of course, I'm going for the PvP arms spec. So, first of all, you go arms. There for PvP warrior, there are quite a lot of different specs you can choose actually, but it's all in personal preferences. So, I'm just gonna take the spec I like, and I'll give you an update on how to spec otherwise as well. So of course we start with this field dressing, which increases healing done and healing received. I also go for War Academy for, of course, the damage on Mortal Strike, which is always useful. The second wind, very useful against rogues. Each time you're stunned or immobilized effect, you generate 20 rage and 5% of your total health over 10 seconds. It's really handy against other warriors and rogues in special. Then deep wounds, nice little dot. Impale, even more damage on Mortal Strike. Since I mostly play twos and I'm still trying to find a 3 versus 3 team, I don't really use sweeping strikes, since in twos it isn't really that often that the healer or the double DPS is near each other, so I'm skipping this one. Taste for Blood, well, quite naturally for the overpower spec. I also always go for the improved hamstring. It's a really great opener. I'll talk about that a bit later. Deadly Calm, yeah, no brainer. Blood Frenzy, a bit more dot damage. The improved Slam. Some warriors will choose for this, some warriors will not. I prefer not to. I just don't like it. It deals a lot of damage, but I prefer what we'll see in a bit, the Insight spec for the heroic throw. But it's quite a good. It's good, but I think you should test it out for yourself. Would you prefer the improved Slam or the Insight? But I go for improved Slam. Yeah, this is no rain as well. Juggernaut. Yeah, follow your charge is followed by 25% increased crit chance on your Mortal Strike or Slam, whatever you prefer, but I would go for the Mortal Strike naturally. Sudden Death, also always handy for when you're going to nuke the last bit of HP down with the Execute, or the procs to your Colossal Smash gets off cooldown. Lamp to the Slaughter, well, quite naturally 30% extra damage on your Mortal Strike when it's fully buffed, when it's fully stacked, sorry. Wrecking Crew, Mortal Strike crits give you 10% enrage effect, so quite handy. Throwdown, awesome for CCing. As you can see, I'm 1 point short to get my Blaze Storm, so you could choose to go for sweeping strikes. I would use this talent only if you're doing 3s and 5s. In 2s I wouldn't really spec into it. 1 point in Slam is not really useful. I'm going for the Blitz. It stuns an additional target and generates me 5 more rage. I really like this. It's while doing great backgrounds or doing 3s whenever I do them. It can be used as an extra interrupt when there are 2 targets next to each other, so I would spec into it. But as I said, it's mostly personal preferences. You also could go for the Drums of War, that your Pummel, Demo Shout, and Intimidating Shout are have no rage cost. Excuse me. It can be handy, but for the Pummel it's only 10 rage, and it's quite rare that I'm below 10 rage, so I'm not gonna spec into it. And then Blaze Storm, of course. I think everybody has seen Swifty's one-shot macro. If you haven't, I'll give you a demonstration in a bit. Then we can go to the Fury spec talent tree, or the protection talent tree. Let's first dig into Fury spec. Go for Cruelty, 10% more crit chance on the Mortal Strike, which is very beneficial with the Juggernaut for Mortal Strike crits. And as you know, if you get a Mortal Strike crit, you get enraged by Wrecking Crew. So try and get the loss. Don't gem to it, but if you can if you get more talent points to crit with Mortal Strike, really use them. Then Blood Craze. All the healing you can get as a warrior it's really important. And then I go for Piercing Howl, which I love when the target's just out of range and you can do Piercing Howl, you can still catch up with him. Then I go for the Insight for the proc chance of 100% crit chance on my Heroic Strike. I love it, it's awesome to get a clean crit. Then I got 1 point left. We can choose to go for the full Blitz, the 10 additional rage. In my opinion, it's not really necessary, so I'm not gonna use it. The effect is still only one nearby target even if you go 2 out of 2 in this, so it's not really. I don't think it's beneficial. I'm always going for the Root Interruption. Successfully interrupting a spell pummel increases your damage by 5% for 15 seconds. Like, if you can interrupt a healer and all of your damaging spells and trinkets or whatever are off cooldown, and you can combine it, well, there's a big chance you can kill the healer. Certainly, if you go, if you throw down him in the meanwhile, and if your partner, I don't know what, depending on what your partner is, if he's a mage or something, you can get a counter spell and he can burst with you. So that's quite useful. So this is my spec. As I said, warriors have multiple talents to go from. Like, so as I said before, just try a few out with the slam or even with the drums of war if you really want to. I wouldn't go for tactical mastery for the rage, because the only time that you really have to stance dance is only to disarm a warrior most of the cases for this Blade Storm or DK, and I've never had any problems with not having enough rage to disarm somebody. So, well, yeah, so I would, for me this is my ideal spec. Then going for the glyphs. For the prime glyphs, we have a Glyph of Overpower for the damage increase on Overpower, the damage increase on Mortal Strike. Since Mortal Strike is your main ability to use, it's really important to get it as strong as possible. The Glyph of Blade Storm, 15 seconds less cooldown on it. I don't always use Blade Storm as an offensive ability, but also as a defensive. Like when a druid uses his Nature's Grasp or whatever, you can use your Blade Storm to get all of the stacks out of it, away from him. So that's quite useful. Or when a mage has Frost Nova at you and his blink is off cooldown, Blade Storm is a really useful ability to get close to him and keep that pressure up against the mage. Those were the prime glyphs. Then for the major glyphs, I got Piercing Howl. Again, when I'm getting kited by a rogue or by a hunter, for example, the Piercing Howl really this 50% really increases it by quite a lot. So even if the target is far away, you can slow him down and get back on him more easily. Glyph of Rapid Charge, I prefer this one over the long charge, because again, for example, as mage or hunter, especially hunter with their disengage, you want to get your charge off cooldown as fast as possible, because if I'm not mistaken, disengage only has 16 seconds while our charge has 12, so you really want to get as much charges on a hunter and as fast as possible. Then my last one is a Glyph of Spell Reflect, which reduces the cooldown spell reflection by 5 seconds. As far as I've seen, not too many warriors are using this spec, this glyph, sorry. I find it really useful, since some mages actually have counter to see when spell reflection is off cooldown, so I can time a bit when to pop it to spell reflect their defreeze or something, or just to get just get the shatter combo back on their faces. And yeah, for the minor glyphs, there are only 3 really useful ones. Glyph of Command, which is, yeah, it's not really that useful, but if you can go check, there aren't really too many others you can really use. The Glyph of Intimidating Shout, some people might like it, but what it does is all targets of your Intimidating Shout now tremble in place instead of fleeing in fear. I really wouldn't take this glyph, since it happens a lot that when I fear the other target that I'm not targeting gets feared behind a wall. If it's the healer, he's getting a line of sight out of his DPS, and that's a really good opportunity to let your partner CC him after it and nuke down the DPS. Glyph of Battle and the Glyph of Berserker Rage generates 5 rage when used. So those are the glyphs and the talents. If there is something else you want to know, please leave a message in the comment below. I'll be showing you guys some duels against specific classes. Leaving a comment below as well if you want to see a specific class like Frost Mages or Beastmaster Hunters. Except for rogues, don't give me rogues, please, I beg of you. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Billsmeister out.